In this lesson, we'll finish our work on the new finger controls. We'll use the same method we used to rig the right clavicle to take care of the roots of each finger. We'll align locators, we'll get those parented to each control, and then we'll make sure to constrain each root to its respective locator. And once that's done, we no longer need to see those locators, so let's not forget to hide them. Now, the first thing we'll want to do is go ahead and break connections on each root. You can see they're still being controlled, of course, by these custom channels here. Alright, so we're just going to go ahead and separate those channels from that control. I'll go ahead and grab the roots on both ends. We'll go ahead and take care of all of these at once. We'll highlight our rotate channels, right click, break connections. Now we also have our mid and end sections to worry about, but this is really easy to take care of. We'll just simply overwrite the connection with our new mid and end parameters on each control. So one step at a time. After we have broken the connections on each root, we're ready to go in and create a locator. Let's go ahead and bring up its size. Great, and now we can go ahead and start aligning this across the root. So starting with the thumb on the left hand, let's go ahead and shift select its root, press the P key. Let's zero out our translate and rotate channels. Take a look, the locator is now aligned. Let's go ahead and press Shift P to unparent it. Let's also make sure that it's renamed. So that's LOC DRV L thumb 01. Alright, so to bring this to the index finger, well, we know what to do. Let's go ahead and duplicate our locator, Control D. Let's go ahead and shift select the index finger, press the P key. Now the locator is parented, so we can go ahead and zero out its transforms. To align it, press Shift P to unparent it, and now we'll need to rename it. So that's going to be LOCDRV L index 01. So what I'll do is go ahead and pause the video and take care of the pinky and the right side as well, because the steps are the same. Alright, so again, let's make sure to duplicate the locator, get it parented to the next root, zero out our transforms. Once that's done, and once the locator is aligned, we want to unparent and then make sure it's renamed. Alrighty, so once our locators are in place, the next step is to set up our orient constraints. So we can always get started with the right side. With the locator selected, we'll shift select the bone to constrain. And there we go. All of our rotate values are nice and clean. Then we can go ahead and take our locator and parent to the animation control. So go ahead and shift select it, press the P key. Beautiful. Let's go ahead and test this out. We'll grab our control and we'll start to move it around. And there we have it. So now we can go ahead and take our locator and hide it. So let's go ahead and repeat this process for the other fingers. Again, we go in, we'll grab our locator, we'll grab the joint to constrain, we'll orient constrain, we'll go ahead and take our locator, parent to the control object, we'll test out our control, great, and now we can go ahead and hide the locator to clean things up. So I'll go ahead and leave the others up to you, and again I'll pause the video. Alright, so now that each root has been constrained and each locator hidden, we're now ready to work on the mid and end sections, and we should already have an idea of how to do this. Let's go ahead and open up our connection editor with our control selected. Now we'll go ahead and grab the mid bone. So I'm starting with the pinky on the left hand. We're going to load that in, and all we need to do is overwrite the rotate Z. So we'll go ahead and find our mid channel, go ahead and overwrite the rotate Z channel, and now when we start to use the mid channel, you can see we're getting the control we want. So we'll go ahead and grab the next bone object, we'll go ahead and load that in, we'll choose end, we'll go ahead and find the rotate Z and connect, and then we'll want to test this out. So since this is right to the point, I'll go ahead and leave the others up to you. Just get the control loaded in, get the two joints loaded in on the input side, and go ahead and connect mid and end into the respective rotate Z channels. So again, I'll pause the video. Okay, so that should finish up our work on all of the connections we need to make. Remember, we always want to test out our controls. So we'll just go through and make sure they're all working just fine. Great. Now the last step is to get rid of all of the channels we no longer need on the ARM control. So that's the rotate X, Y, and Z, and the mid and end channels. So let's go ahead and grab our two ARM controls. And with those channels highlighted, we can now choose Edit, Delete Attributes. Now they're gone. We can do the same thing for our displayable attribute. We'll go ahead and choose Edit and Delete. Now everything is very clean. We have a really cool finger rig by the end of this. Alright, very nice. Alright, so that's our work on the fingers. Learned some really cool ideas for setting up controls that would be very fun for animation. So the next step is to talk about blend shapes. These are used to create facial expressions. They're also used to correct deformations, but that's for another topic. But let's go ahead and move on to the next lesson and talk about the final subject for this course.